I think bro culture is absolutely real. I think that it is a place where it's hard charging, people are big money, big dollars are at stake, and anytime you have that happening, you're going to experience a highly intense and competitive culture. I think where I've looked at it at OpenTable is now that I have the opportunity to change the rules of the game, I'm doing so.
Tell me all about what you do.
We bring restaurants and people together around the table. So we help connect through restaurant reservations. We seat over 23 million diners every single month. And we have 43,000 restaurants around the globe, connecting them in a way that helps them create amazing, hospitable experiences. I spent a career actually working on Wall Street, taking internet companies like Google public. And I got tired of armchair quarterbacking, frankly, and went to go work at a startup in Silicon Valley. That startup then got sold to the Walt Disney Company, and that began my career as an operator. And so when OpenTable was looking for someone to shake things up, rethink the paradigm for how it was going to serve customers and diners in the future, that's when I got the job and have been enjoying it ever since.
Well, what was your toolkit for survival in Wall Street? Because that was not a particularly supportive culture for women, right? I mean, we've heard pretty bad stories about that. How did you experience Wall Street?
Yeah, I mean, and you know, I'm somewhat, I don't know if it's ashamed, but I sort of became a man when I was working on Wall Street. You know, I basically shut off the feminine components of who I was. I wasn't bringing my whole self to work. And so it was a little bit more challenging when I became pregnant to pretend that I was still a man because of this obvious change. And I think that, you know, one of the things that's been so exciting for me in my job is being able to come out as, you know, a whole person.
Come out as a woman.
Come out as a woman. I'm gonna quote Kate Mitchell.
And can you come out as a woman because you're the CEO, so therefore you set the culture?
Absolutely.
At the Fortune Brainstorm Tech Town Hall earlier this year on diversity, an angel investor got up and said something that really ticked you off, right? Let's look at that clip.
It's this thing that I've heard from so many successful women. That is this aspect that women don't always support each other.
You have some people behind you who are calling bull.
Okay.
And so I want to give them a chance to speak.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, sorry. Yeah, no, I have to. Yeah, I was literally bull. There is definitely a generational component. I'm going to calm myself down, boiling here.
Why were you so passionate on that topic? I mean,
because it's just not my experience, and it was so frustrating to hear a man tell me that the problem was that women weren't supporting each other. The fact of the matter is 75% of the largest IPOs from 2014 to 2016 had exactly 1 or 0 women on the board. So kind of hard to be supportive when there's literally not another woman in the room. And I think what I've experienced personally is that there's just so much support. People are helping me, giving me breaks, and helping me network, that it is simply not reflective of the experience that I'm having.
You have 2 sons in the thick of sports leagues and school events. How do you manage your day?
First of all, outsource everything that you possibly can. You know, my kids don't even know that it's possible to go to a grocery store. I also have a very supportive husband. He also has a big job, but he's out there, you know, helping navigate the kids' sporting schedule, and it does take a village. You know, I can't possibly think that I'm going to do it all myself. And I think you get comfortable with a certain element of failure, or, you know, it's certainly prioritization where it's like, look, I'm not going to go to this, you know, I'm not going to bring freshly baked cookies to the school. That's just not going to happen. I'm the 6th of 7 children, and so nothing was given or handed over. In fact, every scrap of attention that I ever got as a child was fought for. And so immediately you recognize that I'm gonna have to do something extraordinary just to even be noticed. I am the daughter of Title IX. You know, I came about in a time where, you know, sports was being encouraged for young girls, and for me, it has been everything. I recently saw a stat that 65% of the most powerful women's list competed in high school or college sports, and I think for me that resonates. I get it. I learned how to be a teammate. I learned how to lose and get back up. And those are the things that are really important. I also learned how to play with men. You know, I played basketball with men in a Wall Street league here in New York City, and it taught me that I can be powerful and competitive on the same field as men, and I think it just gives you a layer of confidence that you wouldn't have otherwise had.
What are the words of wisdom that you would give your 20-year-old self?
Chill out a little. You're a little too aggressive. But open your eyes a little bit more. Recognize that some of the things that are going on maybe aren't the way they should be, and question things a little earlier, perhaps, than you did. But that it's
what
also
kind of
gonna
things
be
would you question?
I think that, you know, I mean, there are definitely things that I put up with along the way, especially in terms of sexist behavior that I think that probably shouldn't have been okay. I probably shouldn't have brushed those off. I probably shouldn't have kind of rolled with it as one of the guys in a way. And so I think being, you know, now that I think if a 20-year-old self in 2017 should be thinking more broadly about.
But how would you advise a young woman to handle inappropriate behavior? Do you think it should be an HR issue, or do you think it was better that you brushed it off?
First of all, I think anything that becomes an HR issue becomes a lot more complicated. At the end of the day, HR's job is to protect the company, not you. And so what I think is establish the female network, find your sisterhood in the company. So find those other women in the room and create a network and cultivate that and amplify each other's voices.
It's a pretty good message, I think, for your 20-year-old self. But I don't know whether you should be less aggressive. You did pretty well. Thank you very much, Christa Quarles.
Thank you so much. This is so much fun.